Welcome back to What's Not Sports, guys. This is episode 41 of the Pulse Check, I believe. That's huge. We have been doing this for a while now. I'm absolutely loving it. I hope you guys are. We've got a lot to cover this week. Well, not quite as what we have in the past. We're going to try and get through this pretty quick. We're going to talk a little bit about the Prime Minister's 13 that happened over the weekend, and then we're also going to talk about a little preview of the Pacific Championships that start this week. Round one this week, very exciting. More NRL for another month. And then we're also going to finish off with the Shaw and Partners Iron Series and the Coolangatta Gold. And discuss something else and part of it. So let's get straight into it. Let's jump in straight into a bit of rugby league. And let's dive into the PM's 13. So today, on Sunday, we had the Prime Minister's 13 of Australia versus PNG. The PNG is probably really close to their strongest side that they put together. And then the Australian team is a bit more of a development side. And also some that are selected for the Kangaroos also get a couple runs, like Ethan Strange. Bradman Best, Mitch Moses, a few others. That's kind of what it is. We'll quickly break down the game. The first half, it was relatively close, I would say. Halftime, it was PNG 4, Australia 16. It was 8-4 for a while, and then Australia closest to halftime broke away when there was a bit more fatigue. PNG actually, surprisingly, I was surprised with the opportunities and the risks they were taking, and if they executed it, they would have been in a much better position. It shows it was showing a lot of good signs for them. In the first half, Trey Fuller scored a hat trick in 30 minutes, which is absolutely insane. Halftime score 4-6. 4-16, and no conversions made. The second half, it started to open up a little bit more. There were 2 tries within 2 minutes of each other in about the 56th minute of the game. Trey Fuller scored his 4th try, which was insane. Someone who spent a lot of time in Q Cup, really showing that he's going to be a good star for the NRL up and soon. Full-time score was PNG 10, Australia 28. Things to notice, to note, and things that I noticed is that there was only 1 converted try in the whole game, and that was when PNG converted their second try. Australia didn't convert any of their tries. So, was Australia missing the kicks on purpose? The score could have been 42. Australia could have been on 42 points if they didn't miss a conversion. And I don't want to say it's because they want to have good relations with PNG, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, but I just feel like some of Jaden Campbell's our halfback doing most of the kicking, and then Mitch Moses, and they both didn't convert. It could have looked like a lot more of a blowout game, is what I'm saying. A little bit sus in my opinion, but that's my thoughts on the Prime Minister's 13. Obviously, always a good expedition over in PNG. So while we're on the topic of PNG, let's talk NRL in 2028 and the PNG team coming in as a side in 2028. So just before the Prime Minister's 13 started on that day, they announced that the Papua New Guinea club that will be joining in 2028 will be known as the PNG Chiefs, the Papua New Guinea Chiefs. So very exciting news for the NRL community. They will be our 19th team in 2028. We do have the Perth Bears in 2027. The comp continues to grow. One thing I was thinking about, it's going to be a lot of travel that we're going to see. You've got a team all the way over at Perth, and then you've got a team all the way in New Zealand and Papua New Guinea. Will we see conferences happen? Will we see more neutral games happen? Like, for example, more games in South Australia to even up the travel. Northern Territory, we know they have a couple games. Well, only had one game this year, but is that something we see in the future? It will be very interesting. Do we see conferences like they have in the NBA and what they have in the NFL over in America? It's up for discussion at the moment. So we'll see what happens there. So yeah, that's all I got on Papua New Guinea. Let's jump into the Pacific Championships really quickly. So first game of the first round of championships, we've got Fiji versus the Cook Islands. Look, it's hard to go past Fiji, especially the fact that they've never lost a game to the Cook Islands in the two times that they have faced off before, and the last time that they did play, Fiji won 56-6. The only thing I say is different this time is big advantage for Cook Islands. They've got Brisbane Broncos star Brendan Piakura. Could this be an advantage and help the side do something that they've never done before? We'll see. But I'm backing Fiji for this one. And then the second game of the first round is the Kiwis versus Samoa, New Zealand versus Samoa. They've only faced off once before, and the Kiwis absolutely dominated the Samoans 50-0. The Kiwis have always been a very super strong, well put together team, very experienced, lots of Raiders in there. And they're like, they've always been quite mature. But in saying it, the Samoan team, I find, have matured a lot, and they've got a lot of mature players now. The last time they faced off was 2023, maybe even 2022. Now you're looking at Josh Papali'i coming out of retirement of rep footy. He's in the side. You then have Brian To'o. You've got Jerome Luai. You've got Payne Haas. Just to rattle off a few. You've got a great utility player within Simi Sasangi. It's a different side of Samoa that is matured as players. And I really think they can give the Kiwis a run for their money. And that's why I'm going to back them in this one. But it's going to be very close. I reckon the score will be like 16-18. It's going to be a really close game. I think it's just you're going against probably the most experienced side in the Pacific Championships. And then there's Samoa. That definitely weren't up to the standard of the Kiwis back the last time they faced. But it's a different Samoan team, and it's so good. Like, Payne Haas is now arguably the best prop to ever play the game, and the Samoans have him. And then you've got the experience, as I said, Josh Papali'i, and then Jerome Luai in the halves, Brian To'o on the wing, just to rattle off a few. We can dive into that more, but I'm not going to because we don't have too much time. I'm trying to somewhat speed run this podcast, but that's just to mention that. And then our two teams on the bye in round one is Tonga and Papua New Guinea. Obviously, Papua New Guinea having the Prime Minister's 13, that probably played a role into it, so they get a week off. Tonga will be quite deadly. They'll, in round two, having half of Izzy Katoa, knowing the caliber of his playing, round two will be very exciting at Suncorp, Tonga versus Samoa. So we'll talk more on that next week. And obviously, next week we'll talk a bit more of the Kangaroos and the Lions in the Ashes, the Rugby League Ashes. We might even touch on the Cricket Ashes next week. Maybe that's a bit too early. Right, that's all I've got for Rugby League. Let's jump into our second part of the podcast. I'm pushing pace on this one. I don't have much charge in my MacBook. I don't have a charger to plug it in. This could all go south very quickly. So I'm really trying to push this pace. Right, here we go. This weekend is the first round of the Shaw and Partners Iron Series. So, as I call it, Sappers. Sapis. Sappers. Which is it happens to also be the Coolangatta Gold. But before we get into things like that, let's talk a bit of Coolangatta Gold all around it, and let's talk about the Chasing the Gold movie. The movie follows the three athletes of Ali Day, Lana Rogers, and Connor Maggs, follows their story of heading into the 2024 Coolangatta Gold. Connor Maggs' first ever time doing the Coolangatta Gold, him saying he wanted to win it and take down Ali. Lana Rogers obviously wanting to go for a third time on the podium, third time to win the Coolangatta Gold, and Ali Day trying to keep his perfect record and trying to get 10 Coolangatta Gold victories. I thought it was a fantastic doco. It really showcased how each athlete has a different story, different preparation, do different things. They have a different mindset. They have a different process on how they want to do things. And I just found it so interesting. Seeing it from them and their perspective and seeing what they had to do and what they have to go through injuries, mental challenges, their desires, their passion, their hunger for it. So I thought it was really good, and it really gave us a lot of insight on not all athletes are the same, as we already know, but insights on how different we all are and what different athletes go through. And I'll say this, that Ali Day said in the movie, you could be training with someone twice a day or every day, 10 times a week, and you might not know what that person next to you is going through in their lives. This showed what these three athletes do go through and what they went through to get their foot even on the line in the 2024 Gold and what it really meant to them. So it was really good, and it was a really good lead up considering that it came out the week before the Coolangatta Gold, which is this weekend. Now we'll get into that. But while we're on the topic of the Chasing Gold movie and it following one of the athletes, Ali Day, who I consider the GOAT, let's talk Ali. Late last week, Friday, Ali Day announced his retirement. He's been a professional in the sport for the last 17 years and having many of the highest highs in the sport. He's also had some of the lowest lows. He's considered to be one of the best to do it in the sport, and in my opinion, he's the greatest of all time. Through his struggles, Ali was always came back fitter, stronger, and better than he was in the past. Some of his struggles included experiencing chronic fatigue after his second attempt at the Coolangatta Gold and winning it. He then had to have the rest of that season off, and the start of the next season, he bounced back and he was incredible. And then more recently, 2019, had to miss 2 seasons. He broke both his wrists in a freak accident filming for Surf Life Saving Australia for a promo event. And then he came back and has done incredible stuff since, and he has absolutely dominated the field ever since he's come back. To list off some of his achievements, he has won one Interclub World Ironman Championship back in 2018 at Adelaide, 2 World Ocean Series titles when it was one when it was formerly Ocean Sixes, and one when it was formerly Summer of Surf, 5 Iron Series titles. Potentially, I don't want to go into depth about that too much. Last season, the series, and if you know me, you listened to the pod for a while, you know that I didn't consider last season a series. It was more of a league, because a series is a series of races that accumulate on a point score, not like a final and whoever wins it, that's like a league. Anyway, we won't go into that because he probably could have had 2 more titles if he didn't get sick. So he's got 5 Iron Series titles. He's the first and only Iron Man or Iron Woman to ever have a perfect Iron Series where he won every single round. So back in 2020, 2021 series, when all the races were at Kingscliff, Ali Day came back out of injury and he went 6 for 6. He won 6 6 rounds. He won all 6. So no one has done it since. He's been the only person to come close to doing it again. Just incredible to do that after injury. I think a result that goes under the radar heaps is his Aussie board title in 2022 at North Kira. When he won that, that was awesome. In 2025, he came third in the open surf race. He has 4 Aussie Ironman titles in 20, within those 4, he had 3 in a row, 21, 22, 23. And then to top it off, he has 10 Coolangatta gold titles. He has never lost the race. He's unbeaten. And I'm sure, like, he would agree that out of all those achievements, his most prestigious is being a father, a husband, an inspiration, and being an amazing human being. So 2025-26 season will be Ali Day's last. And I think after this season, he'll be the undisputed GOAT. Like everyone says Shannon or Trev or Kai Hurst, and rightly so. Even Darren Mercer, rightly so. You can have that as an opinion. But if we see Ali Day go and win a World Ocean Series this year, which he nearly did again last season, we go see him win an Iron Series. We see him win another gold and another Aussie title. That brings his Aussie Ironman titles to 5 in the Iron. 11 Coolangatta golds, even though the format has completely changed. I reckon he can still win it. Brings that to 11 and never beaten. Like there's no other person in surf sports that is unbeaten in a prestigious event like that. So yeah, brings it to 5 of the Iron titles, 6 Iron Series, and 3 World Ocean Series titles. And what else can he do? Like, that is, I think after this season, we'll go, wow, this guy truly was the GOAT, and he outstanding. Now, let's talk the Iron Series and Coolangatta Gold. First round of the Iron Series is here. It's the Gold's new format. It's going to be the most exciting version of the Gold we've ever seen. That's my opinion. It's shorter, it's sharper, a lot more running, and the most stacked field that we have seen since 2019 when the Coolangatta Gold was in the Iron Series at that time. That's my opinion on it. Well, it's probably the most stacked field since the beginning of the event when Guy Leach won it, or the year after, like 1984 or 85 was probably the most stacked fields. But I reckon having the caliber of all the professional Ironman in it and Iron Woman in 2019 and now having it again, there's 28 that have to do it. And it's no longer a 42 plus kilometer race. It's 25.3 kilometers or 25.6. So every leg is split up into 2 legs, and they've got that 500 meter run transition in between all, and then like a 3K run to finish it off. And that's why I think we've got for this format, it's the most stacked field we've seen for something in this format, because there are a lot of people that are quick along sand and could potentially stick in these shorter legs. Okay, we're going to run through my podium for both the men's and women's, and then 3 picks for both that I think, I'm not going to say that I think are going to be a little bit under the radar, but I think they'll finish in that top 10 of it. Let's just note, I am only picking athletes that are in the Shaw and Partners Iron Series trial. In the Shaw and Partners Iron Series. Not like the regular gold entrants, because I don't want to get too complicated on that. I'm combining the both. Let's keep them separated. So yeah, let's jump into it. So my podium in the men's. Start off with that. In third place, I've got Joe Collins. So Joe Collins, he's been on the podium a couple times before the Coolangatta Gold now in his old distance post COVID in its old format. I think this will really suit him. Like, he can run, he can swim, like, he can do everything. He can be close on that first ski leg. The real benefit for him is that run breaking up each leg, I reckon. And I reckon he gets third on the podium. In second place, I reckon we've got Sean Riley. Now, last year we saw Sean have an incredible ski paddle in the Coolangatta Gold. He did cook himself, end up withdrawing from the race. We're seeing a different beast from him. He could be the next big endurance athlete. His running is insane. But in saying that, I don't think it is enough to beat the undisputed GOAT, in my opinion, Ali Day. Ali Day's winning it for me. He's going to go 11 for 11. His last ever time doing the gold. Even though last season we thought that was his last time going in the gold, he's got one more in him. He is the best athlete that can work under fatigue. Like, he's going to come off that ski and he's going to be calm and control. Even if it opens up a little bit, he's going to catch back up. That run, like, those runners, yeah, they're going to go hard, but I feel like when they hit that swim leg, and I know it's only a K, so it's going to be about 12 to 14 minutes of swimming, depending on what tides and sweeps are doing. Ali Day, I just see he can really wiggle up, put pressure on those boys to try and make them keep up. And then when they go into that second run, Ali Day be calm and control. The boys will be trying to get in front of him, and then he will burn them on that second swim. He's had the fastest board leg in all the golds in the previous years, and I don't think there'll be any problem there. Ali Day gets this one done. Now onto the women's podium. In third place, I've got Carla Papak. She has won the gold previous years. 2022, she won it in the older format. Incredible endurance athlete. She's now at her second season under Michael King. She didn't have to race at the trials because she auto-qualified. I think she'll be well-rested. I think this form of the gold, being an endurance athlete, she's got a good run leg on her. I think that'll work to her advantage, and I reckon we see her finish third on that podium. Second place, Tiani Massey. She's a pocket rocket. She's done the gold. She's been on the podium a few times for it now. I think she gets second here. Like, I think the run transitions are really going to benefit her in this and really put her in contention for that top spot in the gold. But I think that belongs to Lana Rogers. After last season not finishing the gold due to injury, we see her come back fitter, stronger, hungrier to just smash it out of the park this year. She's a fan favorite. Well, we're fan favorites here on the pod of Lana Rogers. She's just so well-rounded in everything. She's got no weak legs. She'll be up the front in that ski. She can swim the house down. She can board paddle well. She can run insane. Like, there's no worries about her at all, and I reckon she gets it done. My men's three athletes that, like, maybe haven't done the gold a lot or have that I just think might be out there a little bit, but I reckon they'll finish in the top 10. So here we go. I've got Charlie Verco. We know how good of an endurance athlete he is on the board. Obviously, he's done Molokai, won it this season. He's won it 3 times now. We know his ball paddling will be good. A lot of the Molokai training, fitness comes from swimming and running as well. So I think his swimming will be up to scratch for the gold, and I think his running will be there. I don't think it'll be the caliber of the top 3 or maybe even top 5, but I think he'll be in that top 10 mix. My other person, Braden Casamento, we saw him not last season, the season before, absolutely rip into the gold. His back half of the gold was insane with the board paddle and the ski. The board paddle and the run leg. I think the run legs, well, he's one of the fastest, if not the fastest runner at the moment in the series. Those run transitions will really help him gain. He's a grinder. He has really worked hard on his ski leg last season. We saw that. I reckon we see him in the mix in that top 10 again. And then Joel Piper came second in the series last year, finished on the podium at the Australian titles. Quick across the stand. He can paddle the ski well. He can swim real well and paddle a board well. He can do it all. He's a well-rounded athlete, and that's why I think he finishes in the top 10 of the men's. On to the women. Top end, like this is in no particular order as well. The three women I think will finish in the top 10 that we haven't seen much in the long course gold. Got Lily O'Sullivan. She is a very well-rounded iron woman athlete. We haven't seen much long distance stuff from her, so it'll be really exciting to see all of that come from her. See how her run transitions are going. I think the fact that she hasn't done the long course gold before, and I know it's not the long course as we know it, but I think that's going to play a little bit that she won't finish on the podium, but she'll finish in that top 10. Other one, Piper Harrison, very similar reasoning. Hasn't done the goal before, but she is so good on all different legs, and she is an extraordinary runner. Those 500-meter transitions are really going to play into it. There's like 5 legs of 500 before the 3K at the end. That's really going to play into her hands. And then the other one, Bella Williams, she's made the move to Burleigh. We talked about that earlier. At the Burleigh 5,000, showed how good she has been training on all 3 disciplines. I just think the move has really helped her with Kingy and training with the likes of Lily O'Sullivan. I think we see a similar result to Lily and finishes in that top 10. So that's my Coolangatta Gold picks. Now, let's just say I'm just super keen for the clubby season. It's going to be so different this year, so much more exciting, I reckon. The more clubbies is just the better. I think we see clubbies really start to make a name for itself again, and might even compete with the cricket. Who knows? But especially with rugby league slowing down, summer sports are coming out, and the return of clubbies is here. Bring back the glory days. Before I end the pod, now that we're at the end, I think I've smashed this. I'm on 4% left on my computer, and we're at nearly 30 minutes of recording. Look, you know I've been teasing it for a while. Merch is coming. In fact, you might have seen a t-shirt I've been wearing on an Instagram reel or two. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but what it says, it's my What's Not Sports logo. That's right. The merch is here. The What's Not Sports t-shirts are here. Right now, we have a range of shirts. They are the style of oversized t-shirts. Medium, large, and XL are the sizes we have. Exclusive merch drop this week for the Coolangatta Gold. So if you do want a shirt, hit me up on Instagram, or if you got my number or whatever, contact me. Shirts are $38. If you hit me up, I'll bring it down to Coolangatta. I take cash, I take card. We can sort something out that way. But if you wait, that exclusive will be sold, will be gone unless you are local to Noosa or the Sunny Coast and you want to meet up for a shirt exchange. Once the shirts, whatever stock's left will be going online onto my website, and you'll have to pay for postage. So as of now, if you want it this weekend, hit me up, let me know. Just with those sizes, they are more for men's. But girls, if you do want one, you might want it as a bedtime shirt or just a big, maybe like an oversized shirt for the gym. Who knows? But we might also have some other merch. So just stay tuned and I'll let you know what's happening with that. But that's what I've got. If that's What's Not Sports, we are out. See you down at the beach at the Coolangatta Gold. I promise I will pump some content out. I am racing the sprint 7:30 on Saturday. Come and watch me if you're down. I probably will drown. But come watch it with me. The 25.6. I'll film some content. Hopefully get some interviews with some athletes. Maybe even some coaches. And we'll get up on What's Not Sports. Let's bring clubbies in. Popular into fruition, and I will see you on the beach, and I'll see you at the next podcast. Cheers.